Hello, I'm Babs Rangaiah. I'm the executive partner for global marketing for IBM's IX division. And of course, I'm extremely excited to be here at Cannes and doing these thought leadership discussions with the ARF.
Hi, I'm Mark Rappin, Chief Marketing Officer of the Advertising Research Foundation. I think the best place to start is, we're here in Cannes. I mean, what the heck is IBM IX doing here? Isn't this a creative festival?
Yeah, I think if you look at what we're trying to do, I think one of the businesses within IX that is really growing is really addressing the needs of marketers.
Right.
And so it's not necessarily, and Cannes in general, is not necessarily just about advertising per se anymore.
Right.
It's really about creating experiences that are engaging for consumers. Maybe that's ads, but it could be content, it could be utility, it could be entertainment, but basically creating something that's useful for consumers, but also gets your brand messaging across. And we're doing so much of that kind of work, and so this seems like a perfect place for us.
The other thing that's kind of on the top of everybody's mind, and actually we had a panel discussion here the other day about brand safety. And then also at our ARF Audience Measurement Conference the week before we came out here, we were talking to the folks about blockchain and how they're looking at ad security and brand security as we move into sort of customer-generated spaces and not premium spaces. What's IBM IX's involvement in that?
IBM is one of the biggest non-banks involved in blockchain. In fact, our CEO, Ginny Rometty, likes to say that blockchain will do for transactions what the internet did for communication. So that's a big, bold statement. So it's obviously very important. What we've been trying to do within IX recently is create a blockchain for media buying and programmatic, because if you think about why blockchain was built, it's basically a ledger-based system that's built in this block that allows for open transparency for all the parties involved of the data, of the financials and all that. And if you look at the programmatic space, it used to be basically client, agency, publisher. Agency got somewhere between 10 and 15% depending on the time, and the publisher got 85 cents on the dollar. And now, because it's client, agency, 6 ad tech players, and the publisher's getting 35 to 40 cents on the dollar. And so for marketers, it's no good because we're getting less working media. And for publishers, it's obviously no good. They're losing revenue. And for agencies, it's not great either because, if you saw Mark Pritchard's speech a couple of months ago at the ANA, he basically was like, there's transparency issues in terms of, agencies are inconsistent with how much they take out of that pot. And if we don't fix this ecosystem, he's basically, we're going to pull his money out of digital advertising. So, in thinking about that and having, had a long background in in packaged goods, in advertising, in media, and now working at IBM and being really entrenched in the technologies of blockchain, I saw that as something that really made a lot of sense because blockchain was built specifically to solve issues like this. And so we're working on a pilot right now to really see kind of how much that can really help that whole programmatic supply chain.
In the next couple of years, what do you think the biggest changes in the industry are going to be?
I think cognitive AI is obviously going to change incredible parts of business, certainly in marketing, but you almost feel like it minimizes a little bit to talk about the power of cognitive AI by specifically talking about marketing. Like one of our great examples is that we have at our Watson Experience Center is one of the earlier use cases was, we do a lot of work in healthcare and especially with oncologists and cancer and whatnot. But one of the early uses was there was this kid who got really ill when he was flying. He was in Asia. He comes back and nobody could figure out what he had. He saw 6 doctors over 9 months. And he was getting sicker and sicker, and then, and this is a few years ago, they were like, at one point they said, okay, let's see if we can use Watson to help identify the cause of what's happening. This kid's getting really sick. Anyway, so Watson read every New England Journal of Medicine ever written in 10 minutes, and then looked at all the data from his 6 doctor's appointments, all the notes, and the insurance reports and everything, merged that data together, and within a few hours came to a 95% confidence rate on what the disease was or what the kid had, and it was right. The kid was better in a few weeks, and that's the kind of impact AI can have.
Babs, thank you so much for being part of the ARF Leadership Series.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.